Hi, so this is a video where I'm going to be talking about why, statistically speaking, gay dating is much more harder than that of straight dating. And if you are much more interested just in knowing the statistics of that and seeing how it affects gay dating and the coding and all of that I've done based on preference and distance and all of that, based on a lot of data, you can actually go to my GitHub link. I have linked that in the description below. You can go there and you can there's a Jupyter notebook which you can run in Google Colabs just by downloading it and edit and tweak your own preference and population of your city, and you can get the data for your own city of how many people you can possibly date and all that. But if you want to stick through whole of the video and watch theoretical explanation of why gay dating is hard in the beginning and then watch the statistical explanation as well, that will make sense as well. Do what you want to feel good. There are timestamps in the description below. Just do what you want to. So why is gay dating hard? So first of all, gay dating is hard because of the less amount of people that are out there who are actually gay or lesbian or LGBTQIA+ in general, and there is no consensus about how much percentage of Indian people are actually gay or lesbian or bisexual or transgender. But a 2011 study actually said that 2.5 million people are actually gay in India, which comes to around 0.2% of the total population. So 0.2% of the total population of India is just gay, which is like, that's so less. So basically your dating pool is like cut down by a lot amount. That's one of the reasons. And the second reason is that you just cannot go up to and talk to anyone stranger on the streets and expect them to date you, or because of two reasons. Number one, you don't want to be hate crimed, which is a very good possibility in India to get hate crime for that, because India is a homophobic country. And number two, you don't always know if everyone who you find attractive is LGBTQ+ or not. So that's another reason. So now the third reason is that no former or prior designed pathways for LGBTQ+ people in that of India and many other countries. Like in India, like LGBTQ+ relationships are not considered legally, that there are no legal rights that people in LGBTQ+ relationship enjoys. So yeah, not even marriage or partnership or civil unionship. So yeah, there is no pre-formed pathways for LGBTQ+ folks to take that can actually, lead them to something good or something. Number four is living in fear or not coming out of the closet. So the statistics that I just said, 2.5 million people in India are gay, which is only 0.2% of the population of India. I don't think that's accurate, because a lot of people are actually not out probably, or do not want to come out because they live in a society or a household or someplace where they will be judged, they will be prosecuted, they will be probably killed or something even worse, be thrown out of home or something if they come out. So yes, a lot of people are not out, which simply makes gay dating or it's hard, because I have dated someone who is in the closet and it's not always easy. It's never easy actually to date someone in the closet. It's more harder than dating someone who's actually out. So yeah. And fifth reason is that the preference of tops, bottoms, furs, sides, and much more things like that. And I don't know, but I usually see on Reddit people talking about, older gay guys talking about how in their days these top bottom furs were not a concrete thing, it was much more fluid. But nowadays it has become a much more concrete thing. And yeah, if you're a top, you can date someone who's a top as well, because intimacy does not care for your preference, but at the same time you might not be sexually fulfilled, which might lead to some problems in the relationship. That's why many tops might not want to get in a relationship with other tops as well. So those are all very big factors as well. So yeah, keeping all of those factors in mind, gay dating is actually extremely hard. Now let's get into the statistics part of it. So just quoted this in Google Colab, and you can actually, the GitHub link is down in the description below. You can just go there and can actually, like, you can just download the code and like run it in by yourself in Google Colab if you want to run it. So yeah. So basically I have taken the cities and their populations and their areas and find out the population density, and then depending on the radius you would want to date, I have found out how much dating population is available to you, and based on that I have went on and searched to different research literature out there to find the number of percentage of gay people in many different cities, many different countries. And in India, the consistent data that I found was 0.22% of people are actually gay, whereas in San Francisco, New York, and Los Angeles, the percentages were much more higher, around 5.0 to 1.6 to 2.0 or something like that. So that I have put that, and then based on the, and then I have went and searched about literature for bottoms, tops, verse, and how people usually identify as that. And this, I will have to say, this data is not completely concrete because it is actually an average taken between multiple resources. So studies done by Grindr, studies done by Scruff, studies done by many independent research groups and stuff like that. So I have taken the averages of those, and yeah, even the top, bottom, and verse did not come as to 100%. There is a 25% of data that is left out or missing because a lot of people did not just want to say their sexual preference, or they do not identify as top, bottom, or verse. They identify as side or something different. So I have grouped that as just something else, and based on that, if you're a top, you'll only be able to date bottom, a certain percentage of verse, not every verse, and a certain percentage of side. And in that same way, if you are a bottom, you'll be able to date every top. You'll be able to date only a certain percentage of verse and a certain percentage of side, and a certain percentage of bottom as well. So yeah, based on that, I have actually done all of these codings and stuff. And then there is the age factor of what certain age groups you would want to date. And so for that, I have taken the age distribution of the countries of India and America, and I actually have how do I say this? I have and yes, based on marriage, if you want kids, the type of relationship you want, monogamy or non-monogamy, and age range. And yes, the end result is that it returns the number of people in a certain radius that you could probably date. If you're a gay guy who's top and has a preference of wanting to date within 5 kilometers of radius, and if you are okay for marriage, and if you want kids, and the type of relationship that you want is monogamy, and the type of age range that you have is 19 to 26, which is plus minus 3 of my years, because let's be real, I was actually interested to know what is the amount of choice that I have. So if that's the case, then in Kolkata you only will have 47 people, in Mumbai you have 44, in Delhi you will have 24 people, in San Francisco I will have 358 people, in New York I will have 266 people, and in Los Angeles I will have 142 people. So that is the dating pool that matches all the criteria that I have set down for myself in these certain cities. And this is not taking into factor that a lot of gay guys within that 5 kilometer radius are already probably in the relationship. So even if I adjust that for that data, the amount of people that are in your dating pool will reduce even further. So this is the ending of the video, and I would like to say 3 different things, or 2 different things. We will see as it goes. Number 1, this data is very average data, and this data is not an authority on how much percentage of people or how many people you will be able to date on a certain radius, because believe me, my list of people is longer than what I have found in this futile experiment in this experiment. So yeah, my list is longer, so keep that in mind. So as a result, this data is very average data, and this does not always represent the accurate real life complexities of the data. So a lot of the things that are missing from this data is a lot of people might have a height preference, a weight preference, a body type preference, although those are really prejudiced preference, I would say, but they still exist. So yeah. Number two thing that I would like to address is that the idea that just because there is no pathway laid out for a lot of LGBTQ plus people, that we cannot form companionship or we cannot form proper relationship is actually kind of harmful. Because let me tell you, in spite of not having a pathway laid down for me or any positive example in front of me of LGBTQ plus positive relationships, I had fulfilling relationships. And number three that I would have to set out is that life is too short. So yes, you might have a sort of a little, your dating pool might not be as big, but that does not mean you're gonna die single. Because if not wanting to be single is something that you want to do, then I'm sure if you put a effort into it, you will be able to find someone who likes you and who you like back. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I am like, this is 1 a.m. and I'm filming this because the coding of this took time. And yeah, so you guys wanted this video based on the Instagram poll. So yep. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.